Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistant's YouTube channel. My name is CK and today we have a very special guest joining us on our channel. He is an incredible realtor from Keller Williams Realty, and his goals are to promote the highest level of integrity and provide a positive example as a realtor to his clients, friends, family, and the greater community. Let's give a warm welcome to Michael Pappas. Hello, Mike.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Could you please tell me more about yourself and your business?
Yeah, I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, but I've lived the last about 17 years in Atlanta. I have been in the business almost 8 years now. This year I'll do around $12 million in volume, and virtual assistants definitely helped me out with that.
And what made you decide to hire a virtual assistant?
The biggest thing was probably just in general the leverage component, the idea of having somebody, especially because I work with buyers, I work with sellers. Sometimes I'm not always able to be in front of a computer, or I may need something right away, but I can't access it, or I'm in an appointment or something like that. And a virtual assistant definitely helped me to give me a little bit more time and not spend so much energy on what I would consider kind of smaller day-to-day tasks that are still very important, but it allows me to focus my energy and efforts on different things.
And can you please tell us, how did Sphere Rocket help you with the process in finding a virtual assistant?
Yeah, Sphere Rocket helped a lot with the process of finding a virtual assistant. Obviously, I had never had a virtual assistant before, so I didn't really know where to begin or what I really needed to do with a virtual assistant. So they helped on the hiring end, obviously bringing everybody together, all the potential options and everything there. And then on top of that, I kind of told them what I needed for, out of my virtual assistant, and kind of what my expectations of what I would need out of a virtual assistant. And they worked to match me up. And, I've got a great virtual assistant. I've had her over a year now, Jo, and she's awesome. And she's really helped me out a lot. And yeah, I'm very grateful for it.
That's amazing. And how was the process of getting to know and working with someone virtually, since your virtual assistant is from the Philippines?
Yeah, it's a little different than, if you're working with somebody in the States. Obviously, not having the person, face to face with you is a little different for me, especially because I tend to be more of a in-person, type of person. So at first I was a little hesitant. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the virtual, assistant component. But after, working with her for a little while, and, just like anything else, you kind of work out the little kinks here and there. And there's some differences between, being in person and being more on the virtual side. But most of which, most of the things that I needed, I realized could be done by someone in any part of the world. They didn't necessarily need to be in Atlanta. They didn't need to be local. And, even as I grow my business now more on the local end and have more in-person talent that I'm hiring, I still see the need and the benefit to having a virtual assistant, and where they can help even some of my people locally. So it's been a very positive, very good thing.
Now, what are some tasks that you assign to Jo, your virtual assistant, on a regular basis?
Yeah, she helps a lot with my contract to close. That's probably her primary role, is what I have her kind of doing right now. Although she also has helped me with marketing. She's helped me with, just general prep work, contracts, a lot of organizational components. Sometimes, simple tasks like maybe I want to order koozies, or, order some marketing materials for, my clients, and I'll have her, go ahead and kind of look up some companies, get some pricing, things like that. A lot of odd jobs that you don't really think of as being time consuming until you're actually involved in them, and you realize, is this my most efficient use of my time? Can there be better things that I'm better suited for, that frankly are going to make me more money doing those tasks rather than doing some of the the tasks that are still very important, but a little bit more on the minuscule side when you're talking about bringing in income. So it allows me to focus my my time and energy on more higher money making activities, basically. So and that's definitely helped this year. With having Joe for the full year, will be my highest year in production. So I think it's definitely helped quite a bit.
That is fantastic to hear. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now, can you please tell us, why should growing companies consider hiring a VA?
I think the biggest thing is you don't realize how much time you're using elsewhere until you actually take some of that time off your plate. And what I mean by that is, in real estate especially, it's kind of a lot of times the rat race. You're bouncing around, doing a lot of different activities. You're trying to do a lot of different things. You're kind of being a jack of all trades, and what ends up happening is you're kind of a master of none. And what I've realized is that with having a virtual assistant in place, I'm able to be more efficient with my time. I'm able to spend more time with my family. I'm able to, I have a 4.5-year-old daughter, and I realized I was spending a lot of home time doing, odd jobs and things that, really I didn't need to do. Somebody else could do them for me. And, I took back some of that time. And so I get more quality time, with my family, and basically I have more free time on the weekends and evenings when I want that time.
And now, what are some advice that you have for entrepreneurs and business owners who are not sure if they want to hire a virtual assistant? Like, they're still having second thoughts about it.
Yeah, I definitely am one. If somebody's like that, I would be definitely one of those people. I tend to be kind of a doubter. I don't like to trust. I'm kind of a control freak. I don't like to trust other people with my stuff. So, it was hard to let go of those things at first. And even now, even a year into it, I'm still learning that Joe can do a lot more than I think she can sometimes. And I've ended up, putting more and more kind of on her. And as I've gotten more comfortable with that, it's also allowed me to, to grow in other ways. And I think, so for somebody who's, questioning or not sure, it's not a huge investment when you look at what it takes to run a business and how much running a business can cost. A virtual assistant is really not that big of a cost investment when you see what you're getting out of it. And I look at, for what I pay my VA, and I think I pay her overall pretty well for what most people in the field make, but she also gives me a lot of value, and I don't mind doing that. And, to me, it's not that big of a cost compared to if I were doing it with someone, locally, but also, again, if it's not working for you, then you just move on to the next person and you find that person that's the right fit. But ultimately, I think you just kind of have to pull the trigger a little bit and go after it and try it and see. And, again, it's not a huge investment when you look at how much time you get back and how much you can take that time and put it into other money-making activities. I look at it at my average price point. If I sell one extra house a year based off of what my virtual assistant's doing, I'm able to pay for my virtual assistant for the year. So.
And I absolutely agree with the statement that you made. If you don't find the right fit right away, you can just keep trying. It's a trial and error thing, finding the right fit, finding the right virtual assistant for you.
Right. And even in the interview process, it's just like anything else. If you were hiring anybody else, if it's not the right fit, you'll probably see it in the interview. But even if you get to hire somebody and it's not the right fit, I know, you can look to find another one. It's not that big of a thing. It's just like anybody else. If you were hiring, if you do a 30, 60, 90 basically give them 30 days at a time. And if you're not being more productive and you're not seeing that time back, then try another virtual assistant. It's really that simple. Because ultimately, I think, even if your virtual assistant wasn't like stellar, you're still going to get your time back. You're still going to get a lot more done and a lot more, you're going to be able to do more of those money-making activities.
And the last question that I have for today is, what would you rate your experience here at Sphere Rocket so far?
Oh yeah, I would say probably a 10 if we're going on like a scale of 10. I'm very happy. I've been very happy with my my experience overall. There's lots of training. There's the calls that go on. If there's something you're not understanding, everybody helping out's been very responsive and wanting to get things done that you need to get done and taken care of. If you have an issue, they're very responsive in taking care of those issues. And realistically, it's to me it's kind of a no-brainer, and I'm probably not far off from hiring some more VAs. I am going to hire one in-person person here locally, but I'm also going to have some VAs probably hired on the back end. And also I'm going to, as kind of a bonus to my local hire, and I think as a way to get better talent, I'm going to allow one of my VAs to work with my local hire so that they basically have like an assistant as well.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for spending the time on hopping on this Zoom call with me and having such an amazing testimonial towards Sphere Rocket. So I just want to say again, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.